Let me ask you something. If you're being honest, when was the last time you felt like you were actually choosing your life? Not managing it, not surviving it, choosing it. Most people don't actually hate their lives. They hate the feeling that they're living a life they never consciously chose. I've felt this in my own life. Sit with that. People say, I hate my job. I hate my routine. I hate my city. I hate my life. But when you slow it down, what they're really describing is, I don't feel in control. So let me ask you this. Who's been deciding the direction of your life lately? You or momentum? Because those lead to very different places. Because you can survive a hard life. You can survive stress. You can survive long hours. What's hard to survive is feeling trapped inside choices you didn't consciously make. Most of us weren't taught how to design a life. We were taught how to fit into one. Go to school. Get credentials. Find stability. Don't mess it up. No one really asked, what kind of life do you want? They asked, what are you going to do? Those are not the same question. So you end up building a life that looks responsible, but feels empty. Not because it's objectively bad, but because it doesn't feel chosen. Here's something uncomfortable. A lot of people aren't burned out. They're bored. Not bored like nothing to do. Bored like nothing feels meaningful. Nothing feels like it's moving towards something you care about. That kind of boredom doesn't get fixed with time off. It gets fixed with honesty. When was the last time you made a major life decision without asking anyone for permission, without needing approval, without needing it to look reasonable, just because it felt true to you? Most people can't remember. That matters. Because fear-based decisions slowly turn into resentment. You don't resent the job. You resent that you never felt like you chose it. You don't resent the routine. You resent that it feels permanent. You don't resent your life. You resent feeling powerless inside it. Here's the uncomfortable part. If you trace your resentment far enough, you usually find a version of yourself who stayed quiet, who didn't speak up, who didn't leave, who didn't choose. Not because they were incapable, but because they were afraid. Let me ask you this. Where in your life have you slowly accepted something that you wouldn't consciously choose today? That question alone can change things. We're taught that being responsible means staying consistent, staying the course, not changing your mind. But what if real responsibility is noticing when a path stops fitting? What if staying somewhere that's slowly killing your spirit isn't maturity? It's avoidance. This isn't about quitting everything. It's not about blowing your life up. It's not about chasing some fantasy. It's about something quieter. Reclaiming agency. Agency just means I'm allowed to participate in the direction of my life. That's it. So here are a few questions worth sitting with. Not to judge yourself, not to panic, just to notice. If your life stayed exactly the same routine, same environment, same responsibilities, same emotional state for the next 5 years, would future you feel grateful or quietly angry? That answer is information. Most people wait for motivation, but motivation doesn't come first. Clarity does. And clarity starts with telling the truth. Even if you don't know what to do yet, even if you don't have a plan, just admitting, this doesn't feel right anymore. That alone is movement. You don't need permission from society to change. You don't need a dramatic reason. You don't need to justify it to everyone. You're allowed to outgrow things. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to want something different. Most people don't hate their lives. They hate feeling stuck inside a life they didn't consciously choose. And the moment you start choosing, even in small ways, that heaviness starts to lift. Not because everything is fixed, but because you're no longer pretending you're powerless. If you were going to stop living on autopilot, what's the first small decision you'd make differently? Not someday, not next year, this month. That's where your life starts becoming yours again.